Hi guys, welcome back. This is episode 3, and I'm just going to take you through, what I usually do in the fall now. Um, the weather's getting cold, it's October, and not much watering needs to be done because, everything doesn't dry. Trees aren't really growing that much, and it rains more than, say July, that's for sure. So, everything is still looking just like the way they were before. Some of the leaves have started to wither because of the cold. So let's just take a look at that, and then I'll take you through how I collect rain. All right, so as you can see the maple there, the leaves are pretty much withering away. I'm just waiting for all the leaves to drop on pretty much all the deciduous trees, and then I could kind of get ready to move them into the garage once the weather gets cooler. I'm thinking probably for January and February for sure. We'll see how the weather is in December. If it's not too cold, then I'll probably just leave them outside. But once it gets to like -7 and under, I think I'm gonna move in. The silk tree here, the leaves right now doesn't even open. It's overcast cloud weather. Overcast sky today, so I guess the leaves aren't opening, and it's also kind of cold. It's about 12 degrees Celsius. I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit, but it's not warm. So, but yeah, it's kind of cool that everything's closed up. Looks kind of funky. And everything else hasn't really changed any colors for the maples. This one, I think the season of change, Acer palmatum season of change. You can see a little bit of the color here, but the leaves are drying up and they're withering away, so you can't really see the colors of the actual good red. But it's pretty red, So yeah, I don't know if it's gonna change. The whole thing will change to really red or not. From what I see now, I think it's just gonna mostly just wither away. And then for this collected maple, it's actually got a little bit of a leaf, but I'm sure that's gonna drop pretty soon because it's getting cold. And for the seedlings here, you can kind of see a little bit of the color change right there. See if I can focus in on it. Yeah, as you can see, a little bit of a red. I'm not sure how well this would change, but it's always exciting to see the color change in the fall. That's why I love maple so much. I went to Algonquin Park a week ago. It was supposedly the best time to go to Algonquin Park for the color change, and it was just a sea of yellow to orange to red. It was beautiful. So about the rain. I have this tub that you probably saw before. Let me just open this up. So usually I lay it out like that, and the rain gets collected in here, which has some already, and then it gets collected in the lid. Plus I have a bunch of random containers here, including a pot or a pan. We're not using it, so I figure I'll put it out here to collect some rain. And then just some random containers I put down. It's not that much, but it seems to be enough to water my trees because I don't really have that many trees to start with, so it works. Obviously I need more surface area to collect the rains, but I don't have a system right now, so this will have to do. I usually pour everything into the container here, and then eventually it will get transferred into a watering can, which I use upstairs. That's closed. And I think in the future what I'm going to do is modify this downspout. So right now it's going to the ground, and that's how the houses here are built. They're all like that for all the downspouts around the house. So because I did this side garden, so I don't want to put the rain barrier here because it's right in front of the gate. And what I think I can do is cut the downspout probably around this area. And if I do that, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how the bear is set up. Get back inside. Go back in the backyard. Okay. So I think I have to do like one of those turns. So make it go this way, and let me just close the gate here. And I could probably put the bear here if I was to set one up. Now I have to move the barbecue out towards the right a bit more, and hopefully that's gonna work. But I haven't really planned it or decided what to do exactly yet. We'll see how it goes next year. Maybe I'll put one down next year. Okay, so that's how the rain works. And okay, so let's go upstairs and check out the tropical stuff. Here we are upstairs. So let's first take a look at the hibiscus, and I'll show you the process of how I water my indoor plants or my tropical plants, even though it's only a few small things, but I thought it might be interesting. So yeah, here we go. And the hibiscus has flowered for a second time, or I guess the rest of the bulbs has opened up. The previous flower I had already pruned off, it all withered away. So, and now there's 4 beautiful big flowers. Oh, actually number 5. There's 3 here and 2 on the other side. Yeah, I didn't notice that 5th one actually. I thought it was 4, but yeah, this is just fantastic. It looks like nobody took the shovel. Okay, so now I'm going to water my indoor plants, and I'll take you through that process. Okay, so I have these plastic trays. I got these just from some random packaging of some Chinese pancakes. And I thought they're really useful, you know. There's like it's a nice shape, it's big enough, and it's plastic, so there's no rusting or rotting or anything like that. And I don't have trays for some of these pots that I have, so I put them in here instead, and they work really well. So yeah, so I'm gonna get the plants out and then place them on here, and then I'll water them with my water bottle, I guess. So. So I just misted these plants this morning, so there's some water on it already, but I haven't watered these in a few days. It doesn't look like that I need to water them every day because the aquarium is very humid, but I think it's due for watering. All right. So this is my watering bottle. It's just a Coke bottle, and I poke some holes in the lid. I don't know if you can see them, but yeah, some small holes. What I learned is that these holes need to be a little bit bigger than a needle size, even though the smaller they are, the finer the stream. But because it's rainwater, there's small particles, organic materials in there that comes from outside, and you get stuck in these holes, and you have to clear them out, or else you don't get any water out of them. So yeah, and all I do is actually, before I do that, I'm going to mix this with a little bit of fertilizer. This is just something I bought. It's just a very plain all-purpose fertilizer that I bought years ago that I never really used. Yeah. Okay, that should be about enough. So I decided to use it now. since I'm, you know, watering these bonsai plants now, or seedlings, not bonsai yet. So I put in about, I think it says 10 drops per liter, something like that. Oh, give it a little shake, and just water away basically. And these containers are so small, like for some of these don't even need that much water. And it drains out right into the plastic tray. See if you can see it. So yeah, it works pretty well. This pot that I have came with a couple plants that I bought, and it's not very good because of the tray under it, and it's attached to the pot. So you know what happens after is that once I water it, it drains out, and the water stays in the tray that's attached to the pot and just sits there. So I don't want that to happen, so I have to manually drain this out afterwards because I don't want anything to sit in the bottom. So yeah, so this I'm going to probably replace sooner or later, probably sooner, maybe in the spring, because I just put this in not too long ago. And I think I'm gonna wait till the spring, put this in a different pot, probably one of the plastic bonsai pots that I have. That'll be much better. Okay, so that's for these. Let's just put this to the side for now. Look at this. I have to multi-drain this because the water just keeps coming out, and yeah, not a big fan of that. All right, so the money tree, the new leaf has come up. It's become a much bigger leaf, and overall the health looks really good. I'm sure it has lots of roots underneath now. I haven't looked, but you know, nothing's coming out the bottom. So I'll give that a water. Okay, it's coming out the bottom now. And then there's another ficus. Oh, look at that. The roots are growing out of the bottom already. So I should probably cut that soon, or even now. I could cut it now, but no, let's just wait a bit longer, let it grow a bit more. But yeah, eventually I'll have to cut these roots off because I don't want it to attach to the pot. And also, most likely I'll have to move this out as well. I just put these in here because they're small, and so are the cuttings. But I guess they grow pretty fast and needs to move to a little bit of a bigger pot soon, I guess. I'm thinking the spring, but it might be sooner because these are growing pretty fast. So yeah, it's a good thing I took them out and take a look. So give this a bit more water. Okay, I'm going to get another tray. So let's take a look at the lychee seedling. From the last time that we looked at this, the leaves is all greened up, all of it, and it seems to have kind of stopped. I guess not completely stopped. There's you probably can't see it, but let's see if you can. There's small branches coming out the middle. It's like a tiny little bit of a sprout. So I guess that's the next stage. It'll start coming up and grow more. So yeah, so for every pair of these branch slash leaves, the middle, there's a sprout coming out. And then there's another sprout coming out the main trunk, I guess, here. And then there's a couple of small ones coming out of here. So the trunk one is definitely going to grow because it looks like it's already growing. This one over here, the middle one is growing. Actually, the side ones are growing as well. So we'll see how this develops, but it's very interesting. And this one on the side have not sprouted, so I think that seed might be no good. I did put the seeds in water, I mean, to test if it's good or not, and they all sunk. Actually, I'm not even too sure if that applies to lychee tree seeds, but I tested anyway, and it did sink, so I'm not sure why it didn't germinate, but you know, no big deal. I think 2 is enough. You know, maybe it's too much. I probably don't even have time to take care of all of them, so I think 2 is good. This soil is still moist and it's damped, but I'm just going to water it a little bit, give it a little bit more fertilizer, just a bit, just to run it through the soil a bit. No, not too much. Probably not even going to drain out. Oh, it does drain out. So at the bottom, no, there's actually this one here has roots, a little bit of a root coming out the bottom as well. That's okay though, I think. Eventually I'll have to move this out probably soon because these are just starting seed starters, I guess. Not meant to use for bigger plants, I guess. So yeah, that's something I have to do soon. Okay, so let's move on to another ficus. Move that out. This one has grown a lot. I'm not sure if you can tell, but new leaf, new leaf, new leaf. These are coming out, sprouts, sprouts, sprouts everywhere. So yeah, this is growing really well. And it looks like there's roots underneath, inside the tray. So this, you know what, I think I'm going to move this out very soon, probably in the next video, because the roots are actually in between the pot and the tray, so I can see it in the little gap here. I don't want this to continue much longer because I'm afraid that it might attach itself to the bottom of the pot and it would be very hard to get out unless I break this tray thing. So yeah, just saw that. Okay, anyway, let's go with the water and move it out soon. Okay, it's draining out. So it's even more important now to drain this out by hand, because the roots are at the bottom. I don't want to drown the roots. But I'm going to move this out very soon so that I don't have issues with moving it out later on. Okay, this ficus, I'm going to check for roots. And again, not sure if you can see it, but yeah, there's a bit of a root right there coming out. So yeah, I mean, this is a fairly deep pot, and the roots are still coming out the bottom. I guess what I should have done is maybe put a drainage layer at the bottom with gravel, and then put bonsai soil so hopefully the roots wouldn't grow, through the bottom holes. But it is what it is. I guess I'll have to move a lot of these out soon. I don't really want these to be attached to the bottom of the pot and then, kind of have trouble getting them out later on. So we'll give this the water as well. And this one, it's growing really well as well. There's new leaves and new sprouts. Should be good. This is a new leaf beside it is the small one, that one, and then there's like leaves coming out from the side. And there's a, I guess you can say, surface root right here. It has thickened up really well, I guess significantly over the last few weeks. This was a thin root when I potted this, and now it's becoming much thicker. So that's good. I think that's a good thing. And then the shape of this is pretty straight, but then it develops into a couple branches. I'm really not an expert on how to develop the trunk and how to, get some movement. But I mean, I probably eventually have to clip one of these main branches off so that it goes to one side instead. But I don't know. I mean, that's for the future. When it gets bigger, maybe I'll have to make some hard decisions. But right now, I'm just gonna let it grow, and once it gets a bit bigger, I'll start doing some pruning and shaping. Maybe I don't know. Stuff to learn. I still have to, do some research and learn how to do all that stuff. Yeah, let's move that there. So now to the Schefflera. So for this, I'm going to use the original tray. There we go. I'm not sure if he washes. I guess there's a lot of what looks like hard water deposits. The tap water here, well, in Ontario at least, or in Toronto area, is really hard. If you water the plants a lot with tap water, you're gonna get white calcium or whatever it is, mineral deposits from the water. And I don't know if it's true, but I feel like watering with tap water also kind of hardens the soil. It clumps them up. It just feels like they're all clumped together and kind of shrunk from what it was before. It doesn't look good, and then you get that layer of deposit at the top. Hard to get rid of. Yeah, it's annoying. So watering with rain is much better. So this is the Schefflera that I repotted just a few days ago, and some of the leaves has already gotten bigger, so I guess there wasn't any damage to its growth. It didn't stun it or anything like that. So I'm gonna water it. I haven't watered it since the repot, so I'm gonna water it now. It's about 3 or 4 days afterwards, and it doesn't seem that dry, so I'm just gonna water it with a little bit, not too much. I think that's good. It does drain out, which is great. This one doesn't really drain. So for the water that drains out, I'm just going to pour it into this ivy here. It's just the regular ivy that I got from something, I don't know, and it's grown so much, like, yeah, like it's really long. This has been growing for years. It's on the other side as well. It's a huge ivy. I don't really want to get rid of it. It looks nice. It grows really easy. You can water it with anything. It grows. I don't know. It doesn't really do much, but it's just there. It's green, so I like to keep it. It's nice. Okay, so that's all for watering. I'm gonna move these back into the aquarium, and that's how watering works for the indoor plants for me. I wish I had a better system, so I don't have to take them out, put them back in. It's kind of a hassle, but there's only it's less than 10 pots, so not a big deal. And I'm actually looking forward to the spring, even though we're still in the fall, but you know, time goes by fast, especially when you grow older. So yeah, I mean, these things will probably get much bigger by then, and I think I might run into the issue of plants getting too big and not enough room in the aquarium. So if that happens, or at least maybe I don't have pots big enough to fit them. And if that happens, I guess I'll have to move them out and put some inside and put some outside. You know, I think the ficus are very easily grown, is what I read. It's a beginner plant, so I think I can move them out and wouldn't have any issues outside the aquarium, even though it's not that humid out. But I'm sure they'll survive, they'll be fine. The money tree I can definitely move out because the money tree was out before anyway, so. But I'll probably, I guess, put inside some plants that I really like. Probably a couple of ficus, the leech tree for sure, Scheffera for sure, and you know, whatever else I have room for. But yeah. Anyway, that's it for now, guys. All right, so now everything's back in the aquarium. That reminds me, I still have to clean the window here on the inside. One last thing is this is a worm bin that I have, and I'm just going to show you how I set it up. Let's just move this for now. Okay, and these are just 2 plastic tubs, and you can find videos on people making these. They're fairly simple to make. Just a warning, if you don't like worms, if you don't like watching a bunch of worms wiggling around, I suggest you time travel to about 10 seconds in the video so that you don't have to look at this. Okay, I'm going to dig around to show you the worms. There we go. So this is a banana that I put in, and as you can see, they're eating it. Right, lots of worms, and you can feed them mostly, you know, any kind of garden waste. I'm sorry, not garden waste, food garbage. You can also, yeah, you could put garden waste as well, but I'm not sure if they're as effective, or you know, they might not get eaten as fast. But garden waste, it's better to just, I find it better to just leave it outside, and I bury them now so that you know, so that the worms outside can eat it, and it can also enrich the soil. And you want to keep these moist, damp. Right now it's actually pretty wet. You want to run your finger through, and you know, you should be able to run it through and not feel too wet. So yeah, I feed them bananas. Every 1 banana, usually it used to be every 1-2 weeks, but now I think they have multiplied. So I actually feed 1 per week, and they tend to eat everything. When I started this, I only had 200 worms. It might sound like a lot, but when I bought it, it was honestly like a tiny container, like one of the small pots there. And only the bottom of the container was full of worms, and it did not look like 200. But the guy said, trust me, it's 200, they're small. So I took his word for it, and I brought it home and started this. You know, you drill some holes on the sides for air. You put a little bit of soil, some paper towels to start. Those brown ones, like the ones from McDonald's, or you know, some restaurants have. You don't want the white bleach ones. Apparently they're not good. Or you can put newspapers, but some people say newspaper isn't that good because of the print. It's like chemicals, you know. Anyway, so I did that, and I started feeding it just mostly banana peels. Seems like a good meal, good size for the amount of worms. But you can put other stuff as well, like any kind of vegetables, fruits. What I read was you should stay away from citrus stuff, like hot peppers or something as well. I forgot. There's a list of stuff that you know you could feed, but better not to feed. So yeah, and you know, this it's this soil or the worm castings are very good for vegetable beds and flowers, pretty much anything. I haven't actually used it. I've been keeping this more like pets than anything else, but I was going to use this for growing something. I just haven't used it. And the amount of soil, I guess, in here or castings has increased a lot. This used to be a lot lower, and I guess the casting has produced a lot of the worms has produced a lot of castings, and it's gotten much higher. So yeah, that's how they work it. You know, it's kind of like cool. It recycles food garbage back into the garden. It's like I'm trying to create a mini ecosystem here. Okay, well that's all for this week or this episode. So thanks for joining me, and see you next time.